What's going on? Sorry about that light. Let's see if we can get some other stuff going on. Might come just a tad bit. I think we'll let me go live on my dashboard and restream, so I have to make sure I actually get on YouTube Live. This is your host once again. This is your boy Dreanetics with another episode of Preventive Maintenance. Um, Preventive Maintenance came about. The idea came about March 31st. With a 60s game by the name of Nipsey Hussle. The first thing I thought about, was preventive maintenance. How can you stop something like that from happening to a person who has value and gives value to your neighborhood, to people around them and whatnot. So I have these different talks, I have these different discussions that I try to engage in, and I try to get people to think about these discussions, think about these topics. First and foremost, I'm gonna talk about some local things. I just want to get out the way that when it comes to Buchtel Basketball, right? This is from the hometown, the city of Akron. As no one seems to want to talk about 1999 when we were undefeated in the city. Every time people talk about Buchtel Basketball, they seem to forget that time where we had went undefeated in the city and whatnot. Man, that was my senior year. And during that competition, man, one thing about Buchtel Basketball that a lot of people won't understand is that our team cohesiveness was so strong and so how should I say, it was something that we didn't have to think about. I never had to We never really had to prep each other. We never had to get hyped before games. The only thing we did was play. You know what I'm saying? And that has to do with preparation. That has to deal with working hard in practice. But when it came to a comparison and with other teams that happen to be some sort of competition, it was never about how we were gonna. We never wondered how we're gonna win this game. You know what I'm saying? It was always okay, we're gonna win the game. Is just in what type of fashion. You know, I'm not saying that to be cocky. It's just something that we never really. I never thought about losing to anybody in the city. You know what I'm saying? We had such experienced players. We had players that dominated during the AAU summer who had tremendous experience and exposure to different players across the nation, traveling and playing a good competition in different games. Seasoned players. So when the city came up, and you guys who haven't been doing nothing all summer long, and dealing with ego, it was something that you guys could really prepare for. Our starting five, that I really, what I'm saying, I really think is very important for people to understand when that team continuity was at its highest, when team basketball was at the highest, is when we had the starting five of Dolan Robinson, D. Scott, Kevin Harvey, Ramon Walker, and myself. I'm saying Dre Sims. And the thing is everybody knew how to play their own role, and that's something that you guys didn't have over in Central Howard. That's something that you guys didn't have in Firestone or any other city or competition, or even Garfield or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? You guys didn't compliment one another, and our we pretty much relied upon each other, man. And I like to say that I never got into an argument with any of my teammates, pretty much, man. I mean, me and Dolan had a couple of exchanges just because he was a leader of the team, and I guess he had room to do that. He had privilege to do that. But I never argue. I never argue with D. Scott. I never argue with K. Harv. I never had an argument with Ramon. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I never had any type of engagement with any of the players on our squad. There was no sense of selfishness. Well, I ain't gonna say that. I mean, some people want the ball, but it wasn't so dominant or the urge of being selfish to the point where it messed up the continuity of the team. So, that's just one thing I wanted to say. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are debating about Mount Rushmore. A lot of people are debating about who was the best in the city, in the Akron city basketball. But the only thing I wanted to do was I just wanted to make note that, what I'm saying, when it came to, like a starting five, when it came to continuity, what I'm saying, and when it came to team basketball, what it's all about, with that starting lineup that I gave at the beginning, pretty much that's the one that got us down to the state championship, and also others also. You also had Ryan Martin who contributed also in the starting lineup. So that's just something I wanted to talk about, man. Everybody else wasn't really, a lot of people talking about how much they had against Buchtel or he was balling, but our team basketball, like how we moved as a team, you can get 30. It was designed for somebody to get 30. It was designed for that because we just overpower you. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not that we set out to stop anybody specifically. The only problems we probably had where we had to put a specific note on somebody was the Tarver twins. That's the only people that we had to say, okay, stop these two and we win the game. You know what I'm saying? But anybody else, in the city series and whatnot, Firestone and whatnot, or Central Garfield, we really weren't worried about you guys, man, because our team defense was beastly. You know what I'm saying? Our diamond press was just too athletic. You know what I'm saying? Too athletic, man. Central Howard had all that talent over there. They ain't getting that Nan one championship, man. Firestone had talent, that Nan one championship, man. But we had a whole bunch of hoopers and football players who believed in each other and just played very hard, man. Everybody played football besides shit, D Rob and a couple bench players. You know what I'm saying? That's probably one of the reasons why we were so tough because we came straight off that gridiron, or whatnot. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about that, and hopefully we'll continue this conversation. I got some more things I want to talk about also.